Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to our poor Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Makakarash. Call hallelujah, Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Makakarash. That's in the ancient Hebrew saying all praises to Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Yahweh is the correct name for the God of the Bible, who the world ignorantly called Jehovah, God, or Yahweh. His son's true name in the Hebrew is Yahushai, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. The true name for the God of the Bible in the Hebrew is Yahweh. His son's true name in the Hebrew is Yahushai. I want to give the honors unto elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to all the brothers and Modi, pushing this word in sincerity and in truth, to all that believe in this gospel. Shalom. Alright, this lesson was we're just speaking on a different lesson. We're going nations, right? According to the scriptures, it was never ever it's never ever mentioned or determined by skin color. According to history, according to Asian people, according to scriptures, and according to the Most High created things, it was never ever ever according to skin complexion, because that doesn't make sense. Because a skin complexion does not have anything to do with your race or your nationality. Esau, a devil, which I have the book here, from Babylon, the Timbuktu, by Rudolph R. Windsor. You see me? Or Windsor, if you want to pronounce that way. I'm gonna read it. Is you see, I'm gonna read the, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 6th paragraph on page 20. It says the Asian people did not classify races according to skin color, like the modern nations of Europe and America. So Europe and America is who I don't want to say invented, them who follow this bull crap. So they ultimately well, the scripture says this. Let's get this real quick. They have to use them, some have to cover up in lie to tell who is his nationality. I may say him referring to the so-called white race, because they're actually Edomites, and they don't acknowledge that, they don't accept that, because they know according to the scriptures what the judgment of the Edomites will be. So instead they say them are white people and we are black people. This is Job chapter 9 and verse 24. The earth is given into the hands in the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So him covered the faces of the judges thereof. This man, you have a look up a thing called iconoclasm, right? This is destruction of like religious images, right? And him spreading deception to all the hurt when Christopher Columbus come over here, or Cristobal Colon, him basically push out a white Jesus, telling like, oh, the Son of God is white, you know, during the Renaissance period, like Michelangelo, Leonardo, Da Vinci, right? Some famous painters, them actually whitewash a lot of the images them. You see me? And then them push towards, oh yeah, if Jesus exists or God exists, he's a so-called white man, and this is his nationality, which is all bullshit. You see me? Because again, nationality never had nothing to do with how you look. You see me? So this is saying that the Asian people, right, did not classify races according to skin color, and just because it's modern now doesn't mean it's right. You see me? Scripture says this as well. When we go to Jeremiah. Chapter 6 and 16 says, thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways and see, and ask for the older parts, where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, will not walk therein. So the old parts is the good way. Is the old people used to do things back then. Right, that's the correct way. When you go to say back then mean like in a land where we used to follow after the laws, because not saying everything of old was actually correct. But this specifically that we're referring to as all nations were identified, that is indeed correct. This is Deuteronomy 32 and verse 7. Remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee. So years upon years and generations upon generations and millennium upon millenniums, right? People used to identify nations as one specific thing. And all of a sudden, one man come and change everything. Oh, so who's you? Right? He's the devil that the Bible speaks of. Right? Scripture say what was really referring to Antiochus Epiphanes, but Esau, the spirit of Esau. Well, Antiochus Epiphanes was an Edomite, or isn't? Yeah. And John F. Blumenbach, which last I'm going to read about him, is an Edomite as well, in the same spirit. That's what they do. Deceive. Alright, let's get that as well. But first, I want to get this. This is Daniel chapter. Just give me a second. Setting to change times. Alright. Let me see. This is Daniel chapter 8. I'm going to read verse that. So okay. Little no, it says shall think to change times. Found it. This is Daniel chapter 7 verse 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. Right, so think to change times and laws, because the law, according to the scriptures, you see me, the way you identify a nation is by who them come from. Right, your lineage, not how you look. Because me right now go there with a white man, so-called white man, and pinning come out white, doesn't mean he's a so-called white man. It's my white man depending on the child. You see me, gender, you see me. Right, and just put it out there as well, there's two gender upon the face of the earth, and you'll never ever will be more. You see me, gender is not fluid. Right, it's either a man or a female. Male and female create then and bless them and call their name Adam, you see me? Right, and you know Eve. So it's a scripture say, why shall think to change times and laws, right? And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of times. Right, so have a set time when you get ruler into basically war of madness. Right, so going back to Deuteronomy chapter 32 verse 8, and when the Most High divided the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bones of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. For the large portion is his people. Jacob is a lot of his inheritance. I mean, here when the Most High nations say, oh, the black nations and the Negro nation and the white nation, no, they're not listed in the Bible. The nation world, that wasn't a thing either. No one give a crap how you look. At one point, at one point, everybody on the face of the earth is so-called black. Right? Coming from who? Noah. Noah was a so-called black man. Right? Then you had Shem. You have Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Right? Japheth was almost light skinned, but he was still called a so-called black man. Esau came back on the scene during the so-called white race. Came back on the scene during Esau's time period. You see me? Years after. Right? Let's go back to this book here. Right? So it says the Asian people did not classify races according to skin color like the modern nations of Europe and America. the Asians, including the Greeks and Romans, identified people according to their national or tribal names, right? Which I think national go back to natio, which go back to I think it's a Latin term, raza, mean your race or lineage. You see me? Where you come from, lineage, where you descend from, right? That's your nationality. Not Jamaica. Jamaica, land of wood and water. Who is Jamaica? You see me? People come to Jamaica or came to Jamaica or settled in Jamaica. Doesn't mean that's their nationality. You see me? Um, but that's what they say today. It's wrong. It says they use such names as Visigoths, Vandals, Saxons, Ethiopians, um, this is what Carthaginians, Jews, Arabs, Persians, Babylonians, Egyptians, and Moors. They did not use the term Negro, which is a modern term to refer to the black races, or the word Caucasian to refer to the white races. Dividing the world along a color line was an idea that originated with the white supremacists in Europe after the Renaissance. It says what? The Europeans did not have any great civilization immediately after the fall of Greece and Rome, right? Because that was the time period when um, they was bound. You see me? Well, let's get that real quick. So let's get it right. Go to Revelation 20 and 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand, and his angel is Yahushai. You see me? It says, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil, and Satan, all titles given unto the so-called white race, and bound him 1,000 years, right? And cast him into the bottomless pit, which is Europe, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more. So they no longer have a scripture. Say what? No scripture. The book says, the Europeans did not have a great civilization immediately after the fall of Rome. Sorry, Greece and Rome. So they fell out of power, right? It says that he should deceive the nations no more, till 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loose a little season, and a little season start with the Renaissance, when him came back into power, and from them coming to power, then to start deceive again, tell be lies, because that's what he is. You see me? It was a liar from the. Let's get that real quick. This is Psalms 58. And 3, it says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent, and they are like the deaf adder which stop it. It says that stop it, her hear, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. Right? You see me? Let's go back to the book. I'm upon the second paragraph on page 21. It says, during the Middle Ages, the black nations of Africa and Asia are the greatest political, economical, educational, and military influence in the world. And it was so-called black nations because there are many nations on the face of the earth that are basically so-called dark. Africa, the continent Africa, is as many nations on that landmass. It's not because the black means you're the same people. That's a stupidity. It says, at this time, Europe existed in a state of darkness for 1,000 years. Remember that years I was talking about? You see me? Right? And Europe in general, because you had Constantinople, right, with the Byzantine we call it time frame, we were ruling. You see me? But those are the so-called white race was out of power. So they call it the Dark Ages. You see me? Oh, where there's no growth, guys. Through them, they out of power. You see me? It says, in the 17th century and later, Europe began to emerge out of the slough of ignorance. So-called white race actually did that. It says, and certain Germans and others conceived of themselves as belonging to a superior race. Um, Johann F. Blumenbach, a German, 1752 to 1840, was the first to divide humanity on the basis of skin color. He was the first man to do that. Nobody else never that stupid. You see me? He says his classifications, his classification set up a color line to the detriment of later generations, because the later generations actually believed the lie and lived the lie. Previous people back then don't say, oh, brother, no man, mad, something wrong with him. Don't follow him. I'm racist, by the way. So I'm trying to make, oh, white race are pure. It says, it's just like, for example, Anthony Weldon, if I'm not mistaken, you know, he told a lie about King James was a homosexual. And the people in back then know it's all bullshit. So when him say it, then the very business can get kicked out of King James Parliament, so to speak. Is him, so them know him just there try to get back at King James. But roughly what, 25 to 50 years after, people are research it and them so, oh right, it's this record you that XYZ. They must say, and then that's why you have people right now say King James was a homosexual, but that's not true. It was a lie that was being spread. But people during the era know it was a lie. But after the other generation them come now, people say, oh shit, this is what was the record. And they believe it. It's a year to say what? To the detriment of later generations. Says Mr. Blumenbach classified 5 chief races of mankind: the Caucasians, the Mongolian, the Ethiopian, the African American Indians, and the Malayans. Moreover, he considered the Caucasian to be the original race. Blumenbach, the anthropologist, named the whites after the Caucasus Mountains. These mountains are situated between the Black and Caspian Seas because he thought the purest white people originated there. They were actually, when you read, let's get it real quick. When they originate there, they actually run and they get run up there. When them go, during them bound, in time when them get bound. This is Job chapter 30 verse 1. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have dismayed. Sorry. But read back. Job 30 verse 1. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. Why? Kind of sex with dogs. It says, yea, whereto might the strength of their hand profit me, in whom old age was perished. For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former time desolate and waste, who cut up melons by the bushes, and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men, they cried after them as after a thief, to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Among the bushes they bred cave people. Isn't that so what they lived? So when they look up the Caucasus Mountain, right, do it as here said it, between the Black and Caspian Seas, that's where they dwelled. You see me? Right? And that's why they must say, oh, man was caveman and then they evolved. No, you are the caveman. You see me? And then you came back in power during the Renaissance, the rebirth. Rebirth of what? Esau, the so-called white race, coming back to power. It says, among the bushes they bred, under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. You see me? It says, and now am I their song, yea, I am their byword, because the scripture tells us the most of them will lift them up and set them above us because of our transgressions. The enemy that's among thee shall rise up against thee very high. And this is Daniel chapter 4 verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the man by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. So Esau right now, which is the basis of men. Alright? Going back to this book to finish it up. It says because he thought the purest white people originated there. He thought he was wrong. It says Blumenbach was a racist, and so was J.A. Gobineau, spell it Gobineau. It says a third man by the name of H.S. Chamberlain wanted to advance the supremacy of the white Nordic race and its culture. These men were arbitrated, attributed, these men attributed psychological value and importance to race. This was racism, and it led to a horrible, vicious racial philosophy and to the persecution of the Jews in Nazi Germany, which we know that the whole idea of the whole we call it Holocaust is bullshit. It was a lie. But what took place is that because of that now them say, oh, we are a true for human being, and them can't say us captivity and all that bullshit. But just to drive from the point that race was actually never ever was being determined by skin color, and it was those crackers that actually invented that. Before that, it was never so done. And I'm gonna just close with this from the scriptures. This is Numbers chapter 1, and let's go to the point, verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees, their nationality, or race. You see me? Yeah, that's what pedigree means, your lineage, where you come from. After their families, by the oaths of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward by their polls. Yes, so that's how you tell the pedigree. That's how you tell the nationality, by how you descend from the father, your seed, yes, your lineage. That's why it's been done by, right? Not by skin color. That's rubbish. Yes, so that's lessons to open Zedifant Ileko there, giving all praise to our boy, how about Shem Shaibo, Shem Kakadash, the honors unto our elders and apostles of great millstone. Shalom to the full. Shalom.